A lot of people would love to make content and film nature, maybe their lifestyle, vlog, whatever it may be. Yet so many people never start. I'm a great example of this. It was multiple years ago that I already started to think, hey, I would actually like to film things and make videos because I was at the time watching Casey Neistat, if that's how you pronounce his name, and he was making these daily vlogs. And I felt really inspired by him. So I thought to myself, I should get a camera. I should try filming. And I told myself, well, cameras are expensive. I don't really have the money. And then years went by, I would say a couple of years. And then I was thinking, well, I'm gonna move here into the countryside. And here I'm definitely gonna start filming things. And once again, a year went by without me filming anything. Why? Because I did not have a camera and I thought they are too expensive. Then I realized something. I have an iPhone 11 Pro, which is what I'm holding right now and filming this first clip. Because I do not use an iPhone 11 Pro anymore, but I wanted to film this first clip with the one I started filming with. So you see, this is what an iPhone 11 Pro looks like. You can make decent videos with this. You know, it's the evening, I'm here with my bunnies. The summer is finally here, the sun is shining, and I'm using a Blackmagic camera app and some basic settings, and I think this looks decent. So I got this phone in 2019 and I started filming in 2023. That's 4 years of wasted potential and time that I just threw away. So let us get into what do I use these days and does it really matter? So these days I have an iPhone 17 Pro Max, and the reason I updated to this was because my old phone that I'm still using filming this started to break apart. The screen isn't really working anymore and the space is all filled up all the time because it has the small storage and whatever. So that is why I changed to this one. And another thing was it has bigger sensors, it has bigger cameras, so it has to be better, right? Well, let us take a look what everything looks through the lens of this upgraded phone. Oh, and one last thing I wanted to show about this setup is that I bought the lens, but I did not buy the case because the case is a custom one. And anyway, I had to use a hair tie to put this on the phone so that it actually sticks. So it looks like this and it's blocking some of the screen here. But yeah, no more excuses, just doing what you can with what you have and taking action and getting to work. That's what it's all about, guys. All right, so here we go. And you might think, what on earth is happening? Why does this look so bad? Well, here's the thing. This is where it gets a little bit funny. And this is a good example of when you dive into a rabbit hole. This is what happens. You start to figure out things. You start to learn about things like digital processing of these iPhones. You start to learn about things like shooting RAW and whatever. And this one isn't actually even RAW, but I'm still using settings in the Blackmagic camera app that basically take away a lot of the automatic processing from the camera app. That's why this looks so terrible, because I have settings that make for a better image if the conditions are right. But here's the thing with phones. If you don't have one of these things, which is an ND filter, then you can't film outdoors using optimal settings. You have to use things like what I just used with this. I just had all the settings on automatic and it looked fine. But when you know that it could look better, that's when you get into this. So let's put the lens on so we don't have to look at me looking terrible like this, okay? Let's see what this ND filter actually does. All right, so now we have applied the ND filter. How does it look? Does it look better? First of all, does it look better than without the ND filter? Probably does. But does it really look significantly better than the iPhone 11 Pro, which is a lot older and cheaper, and where I had those automatic settings instead of the fancy manual ones I have on this camera right now? You be the judge. because I don't even know myself, because I haven't used this ND filter before. This is the first video I'm making with the ND filter. It's going to be fascinating to see if it actually makes a difference. So in conclusion, the point of this video was to just show that you can start filming with a 7-year-old phone. It's very much possible and it looks decent. You can do a lot with just this. But then when you eventually fall into a rabbit hole and you start getting fancier and you know more, the knowledge increases the pain. And then before you know it, you're buying these ND filters and stuff. And then does it even make that much of a difference? I don't know. We will see. The digital processing is something I notice now because I've been looking into these things so much. But do you see a difference? Let me know in the comments, and let me know in the comments, what are you using for filming, and are you someone who's thinking about starting to film things, or have you already started and you're thinking you should upgrade your stuff or whatever? Because I would just love to know what other YouTubers, as I like to call us, are using for filming, and what kind of excuses you come up with. Because I spent so many years thinking I should start, but I didn't. Even though I had this the whole time, I thought, well, I possibly can't film with a phone, can I? I need a proper camera. No, I did not. And you do not either. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this and consider subscribing for more. I'm gonna try to do a variety of videos on the topic of making videos. I will try to shoot more outside now, since I have the lens and it's now possible for my fancy ass to use these settings for shooting better quality videos that are less sharp and less digitally enhanced, whatever it may be. So I will be filming more out here in the beautiful nature of Finland as the summer is advancing.